getting baited. We're actually gonna get started on our first round of process here.
Yeah.
So
This
let's
is
see what these teams have in store.
Yeah, this is ETH2L Season 36, Week 1 matchup. Virtus.Bro against the Gage Yale. Alright, take it away.
Let's see what we have here. Both of them get into mid very quickly. Sprite actually denying Kuna of the pack, but Kuna doesn't even need it necessarily. He was on pretty strong health regardless. Now, finally, the rest of the team's arriving at mid. Soldiers flying high, damage being exchanged. Mist gonna pick up the first kill. DQZ is gonna die on the other side though, and it's just damage being exchanged left, right, and center. Lupus is gonna pick up Mist, and he's also gonna clean up cars actually. No heals now. Virtus.Bro here, and they're gonna close out the mid. Barely. Torret does stay alive though, and Matt's gonna get cleaned up, but Torret does stay alive. He does escape. And at least they have an Uber ad, even if they did lose the mid there.
It was a very weird mid coming out from our Pickle team here. It was very weird, like Sprite was just all alone, very aggressively over on his own left side of the map, and he just sort of got rushed down by basically anything that was in this path. It looks like they want to take up the second point before heals come in, but they're not going to be able to get in here in time. DQC, he's just going to waddle back, not exchange or do anything special here. So now Tor's going to have this full Uber advantage, and they might just jump in the demo man here. Let's see what they do. They want to obviously not pop as they come in here.
Absolutely, that would be the most desirable outcome, but let's see if they can manage to do that. There are many people walking through, not taking too much damage, so it looks like for the time being that is going to be the case, but they're not going to find many players. Finally going to pick up DQZ, but the rest of the team are just so passive. They do not want to contest this Uber until they have something to respond with their own, which Cars is getting to just there, so we could see an exchange happening anytime soon. They obviously give up mid during that.
It's going to be a suicide, actually.
Oh, XQQ going in, not going to pick up anything, though. Not even going to put any form of significant damage onto Cars there. So that's now, with a player down, maybe a little bit of confidence on the side of Virtus here. They might feel a counter sack coming, or maybe even just push if they're feeling a little cheesy here. We'll see. DQZ's moving forward. Yeah, he's moving forward in PC here. Gonna get contested, though.
Yeah, so far it's been really good denial from both teams. You know, we obviously saw them get into mid there and make sure that the Soda was gone. It was pretty funny. This is a Soda try and get in, and there was just immediately a scout shooting him. There was even like airborne stickies just actually walling off any kind of soldiers. So far, soldiers are not having a good time trying to get their way onto the enemy medic. So Torret is gonna be on medic, and he's just holding pretty far back. And usually, of course, it is the team that's hold mid that actually is the onus is kind of on them to try and make a suicide play in. You very often see the double soldier bomb. Might just see XQQ. Oh, actually, it's going to be the demo man down there from Lupus. Really nice pick from him.
That's a solid thing to get when you're trying to break a hold here. No demo for the side of Virtus is going to be a very, very big downside. They might even just wait for Lupus here. Because he's still not going to take as long to get back. But we have Sprite peeking forward quite far. Now the rest of his team meeting up with him in sewer there as well. They're going to push out through Al-Qaeda, and they're actually going to pick up Tops as well before losing their own soldier. Uber finally popped out of side of cars. Torret responding with his own. Way better Uber. They're going to have to just force back everybody here on Virtus. Yeah, Virtus, they just have to run away. There's not much they can do against shiny players. Now in the post-Uber, terrible positioning. There's nothing they can do. They just got to walk away.
Yeah, they got out alive, but yeah, they lost that Uber fight super quickly after the Ubers were popped. That's for sure. Demo was actually super far forward there. Kuna's going to hit a nice fight. Oh my god. Yeah, I thought he was just going to get picked off. He actually traded 1 to 2, so that's pretty good. And then Soda's going to jump in there, try to get down Cars. Not going to be able to succeed there. He gets him down to 50 HP, but that's not quite enough here. As the Soda's going to just bomb into the choke here. And that's going to be that. But yeah, this is kind of the Kuna factor. I've been kind of excited here as Lucas going to get spammed out and choke. But Kuna is like an absolute frag hero. He was only in Prem for like a season or 2, like way back. But I'm telling you, I have more frags like hidden in folders than almost any other player. Like he was just constantly hitting insane shots.
Well, you're going on about that. We have another Uber exchange coming out of PC here. This time again, Cars obviously being the first to pop the slightly worse Uber, and team is just chasing them down. Matt jumping in deep, trying to get something. They're gonna clean up Tops, but they're gonna lose 2 of their own players. Lupus is gonna pick up Mist and just get cleaned up himself yet again. And it's looking like the frags are... Oh, yep, they're definitely falling in favor of Virtus here now with Torret down as well. Only XQQ in behind. They're probably aware of him. They haven't seen him yet. Gonna expect him, hopefully. Please tell me they're expecting him. I mean, I would want to see a medic die to a cheeky soldier bomb, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to be that medic, you know?
No, that's not an enviable position, that's for sure. Cars has a pretty substantial Uber advantage right now. He doesn't have it yet, so he can't pop in. You kind of want to walk in through choke and just bully them out with the threat of the Uber. But if you go in too early, you're just going to get jumped in here. But currently, we got what I assume is Milky here behind lines. And actually, we'll trade with the scout. That's pretty decent. He got chased down there by 2 players. And now it's going to be a full Uber advantage and their player down. And the fewer players you have, the more difficult it is to use this Uber. So they might just decide not to go for it here. They're certainly not posturing in a way that makes me think that they're willing to push. It might just be super delayed, but the more they delay, the worse this Uber is, and the less likely it is that it's going to succeed.
Yeah, that being said, they definitely heard your call. They're going to use it in, but there's absolutely nobody to really meet with it. They actually lose tops during the Uber as well. Kuna's going to pick up Sprite, but it's too late. They already have the Uber of themselves to respond with. Lupa's a nice shot onto Kuna in the midst of that as well, by the way. Car's going to get cleaned up as well, and oh, it's just a mess. That was... Yeah.
That was really unfortunate. Like, DQC was in perfect position behind there. It was obviously a very precarious situation and not really something you want to be in. But, like, they did have a soldier behind lines, but he was on the high ground, and sometimes when you're on the high ground, you can't hit people behind you because they're just, you have to predict where they're going to go. And he just barely didn't hit it. So that was like 300, like, easy damage in quotation marks. That just didn't happen in that fight, and that turned it around completely. So big Uber advantage, big man advantage. They could just go in onto this second very aggressively. DUC is holding the PC area, but even he has been kind of pushed back. So this is a very far back position. Actually, Cars is not in a position where it's easy to run away. He's not linked up with the scout currently.
Not at all. And yeah, they're going to Uber in immediately to try and push him back even further. Maybe not going to get a frag here, but they're definitely going to push back the heals far enough to just clear out the second point with the Uber. Now Cars, though, gonna have his own Uber to respond with, so holding last at the very least is gonna be a little bit easier for his team here. We'll see whether or not KJ will actually try to make use of that. Probably not. It would be a very foolish thing to try and dry push this. That being said, they're definitely very aggressive right now, and I've already lost 2 players because of it. They're gonna clean up a single scout, but gonna lose another one in the turn of it, so they're gonna have to back off again.
I think they were just trying to get the Uber force out of the medic. Unfortunately, the 2 scouts were there to defend him, and they hit all their shots. So good defense there of Cars. That's gonna just preserve that Uber. They're gonna continue to have this Uber advantage. It's not very big, probably not something you can really push off of, but they are rotating in through PC area. And looks like they just want to push here, but I think this is gonna be a bad Uber.
Oh yeah, I mean, from what we've seen so far, it wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately. It's definitely a worse one, and Torres is going to respond with his own. That's already 2 frags going down, including the heals. Nice air shot there. Yeah, you love to see those. Yep, as you said, that's going to be a significantly better Uber for Gajiel here, and they're just going to clean up all the stragglers. They still have Kuna and Mist to deal with on mid, but neither of them can really be healed. They definitely can't outcap ×7, so...
Oh no, Kuna's going to jump in with like 5 HP. He's so far behind lines. And there's just no one on Lack to really contest this. Sorta gets air shot as well. Will dodge the double there. And actually they haven't really succeeded too well. This is a really strong hold so far. They're doing a great job. And Sorta's going to come in from behind. Oh.
Sprite comes in to help out his friend. And they're going to clean up the first round.
That was really close. It's yeah, that Uber was probably not worth it. Just, it was a single scout being Ubered through, and he was really far away, and they Ubered very early, and it was just so hard for them to actually get an Uber force out. And once that happened, like, their medic was just so deep in that he was never ever getting out. And yeah, they just rode all that advantage all the way into last, and 1-0. Favorite KTL.
Looks like they're not definitely not carrying that momentum forward into the second mid as Sprite beefed his rollout. Kuna's still going to be the first player to die, though, even though he had so much time to set up on mid. It's not going to be enough, Matt, only the other player on the other team to be dead so far, so it's a 1-for-1, but you don't have the damage of the demo. DQC's going to go down. Flick and Lancer are effectively going to trade. Players are now falling left, right, and center. Cars is going to get killed by Lupus, and it looks like the pins are falling in favor of Gajiel here. If they can keep Tord alive, or, well, force him, I suppose. He's alive. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, that was definitely worth it. You know, Medic's gonna survive that. They're gonna get mid out of it. So, and they're even gonna end up with a small Uber advantage here to go as well. There's some stickies on the ramp. They have spotted it. Okay. Sometimes people just forget about that and die to it. That's not going to be the case here. So they do have this small Uber advantage. They have the heal advantage, but you can see the Virtus.Bro there out here. They're contesting it really aggressively.
They definitely want to not give this one up for free just yet. Matt's gonna go big bomb in, only gonna get missed with it, but hold them back ever so slightly. XQ also gonna just deal some cleanup damage there. Frags again just falling in the favor of GateJail here. Clearly the more dominant team in these fights right now.
Yeah, Milky survived that, so they're going to have an extra player going in here. You see Sprite being super aggressive. Tort's on 88%, so he kind of probably doesn't want to show his face too aggressively here. But these scouts, they're just chewing everything up. Everyone's just jumping onto the point. Here comes the Uber. That's probably going to be the thing that's going to seal this. Scout Demo Man on the point, and they're just forcing everyone to run into them, and these rockets, they're the easiest one of Matt's life. Just shoot the ground, easy kills, 2-0. GateJail, they've come to play.
Definitely, they're putting down a performance I wasn't expecting them to put down. It's definitely a little surprise here. Maybe Virtus.Bro underestimating their opponents a little bit as well.
Yeah, how dare you doubt them? I said as if I didn't do it myself.
We'll see how this third mid goes. Maybe things are gonna change. Maybe the pins are gonna fall in the favor of Virtus.Bro for once as the team kick it off yet again. Top's gonna go for a high bump immediately. Gonna NG go behind. EKC gonna follow up as well. The team of GateJail just cramped up in sewer there. Matt pretty much the only player out alive still, and he's gonna get cleaned up as well. A very disastrous mid there. Favored really did change very, very quickly in that one.
Yeah, Top had an amazing mid there. He jumped in behind, did a ton of damage, came back in, did more damage, even got a kill. And like they would just spend so long trying to deal with him, and they never actually dealt with him. So that was just basically all Top, just jumping in, doing a ton of work. He's gonna go in here. No, that was DQC trying to go for the medic there. They know the Ubers are even, so he's just gonna go for some sort of suicide play. They might go for banners, they might go for a sniper. We'll see what they decide to do here. No, there's a bunch of different plays you can do. Spy, sniper. Spy is really obvious in this kind of situation. He might just decide to go for it. They're actually gonna send a sniper or a scout back to switch to sniper.
Lancer on sniper. He tried it before and he couldn't really get much to work, but now he's got a little bit of a better position to snipe from, obviously, so maybe we'll see him get a crucial pick here to open up this last push for his team. And the even Ubers, naturally, that's always a very tough thing to crack. And he's hard scoping in. He really wants to get that cheeky shot on someone, but it looks like everybody in GateJail is very well aware that there could be something. And they're not crossing those sight lines. They're not taking any risks just yet.
That's what you want to see. You don't want to give out any free kills here. So we've got a very standard setup. We've got the sentry gun basically on point, like super aggressively just denying jumpers. Right, you can see DQC, he's trying to spam it down. That's the best way to spam it down, to come in here from drop down. And then the medic is just crouching in this dispenser. If you can get a soldier or demo man in like far enough, you can pop the medic really easily, but it's very difficult to get in there. They have, however, taken down the sentry gun, so that's going to create a bunch of space and an opportunity for them to actually get in here, and you can see the medic as a result has kind of moved back, and Luba's going to go down.
Yeah, Kuna's just going to pick him up while he's trying to build a sentry, so that's definitely now a huge defensive factor taken out here for GateJail, and maybe that's going to be the soldier bomb we're waiting for, maybe the cheeky Lancer peek. Nobody's really watching one right now because, well, nobody's really at an angle, but Lancer now had a free sightline. Doesn't hit the shot though.
Oh, he hits another shot. Oh, this
Let's
poor
get it onto the
Lucas guy.
counter snipe. Oh. Okay. Well, eventually he does hit it, and it's on the counter snipe, so that's very nice. Yeah, the Ubers are going to come out off the back of that with XQQ also being dead. That's a very obvious choice. However, it doesn't look like it's doing very much. It's not accomplishing very much. The exchange is over. Let's see who wins the post-Uber fight. It's definitely looking like Virtus.Bro have the better positions, but not great health, and with the respawners coming in, it's not looking like it's gonna be falling in their favor. Mist is gonna put some time on the point, but it's not gonna be enough, and the cleanup comes in with only Lancer and Cars alive.
Yeah.
If he can keep his med alive, that would be a miracle here.
Yeah, Sniper's not a good medic babysitter there, for sure. It's not what you want to have survive. That was really unfortunate. Like, I wanted to say that, like, Lancer shouldn't have been Sniper because he was sorely needed in that fight, but you know, he got the picks to actually enable the fight in the first place. And Tops actually jumped in, did a ton of he got a ton of space, and then he kind of just duked out a soldier and got a kill that way. So the initial opening of the fight actually favored Virtus.Bro quite a bit, but they were unable to finish it off here as the Ubers just got off. We're past, so you know, we got a bit of more time here to talk about it. But that Uber push in, it started out really well. I kind of liked the decision to just get Ubers out of the way. Let's get the exchange going. The medic was pretty close, so they could just get away with doing that. And then, unfortunately, once the respawners or when people can just go into the spawn to get extra health, these fights, they can very quickly turn around, and that's what we saw there. So now we've got them pushing into this mid situation.
And we see that they do have a slight advantage, although I wouldn't think it's much to write home about. We'll have to see. I don't think they're going to be able to play off of that very well. But we've just... Virtus.Bro so disconnected. I mean, look where Kuna is right now. My dude is literally completely alone and basically cut off in sewer. I mean, yeah, he's got sticks down, but as soon as they found out he's in there, he's basically useless and out of the fight immediately. With the rest of the team coming in, that's not something you don't want your demo just locked out of the fight like that, you know? That's going to be a little rough.
Oh yeah, Rahmed, do you have the scoreboard up? Has it been up at any point? Just pointing out. I just read chat for the first time, and I see that you have like the title thing up. But yeah, like you can see they're gonna walk in through this choke, right? Ubers are completely a non-factor. We have a single soldier spamming out this choke, and then we have Kuna hiding in behind these doors. I don't think he's gonna like peek out and be aggressive and choke. I don't see that happening. Well, we could maybe see a scout or a soldier or something divert in there, and then he can get the kill. But he's pretty far forward. That's pretty risky, I feel. So, we'll see. Normally, you would want to have two soldiers, or a soldier and a demo man, spamming this choke. But the fact that Kuna is not there to help spam out could actually really just cause him to lose this. We also have DQC. He's not helping spamming, but he might just be getting ready to jump in. He could just get up on top of the rock really quickly and get in there. So this is not as easy of a push as it might initially seem. Like, even though I think they're going to get through the choke, if they kind of just hang around there for a little bit and don't spread out, then a single soldier can just jump in there, or a demo man can come in from behind, and then like a single sticky or a single rocket can just do like 200 damage, and then all of a sudden they're just in dire straits and they have to desperately try and waddle out of choke, and then you just die even harder. So yeah, this is one of those situations where it really pays off to be decisive. Just like immediately go in, just go deep, spread out, focus targets, and make sure that no one's in behind, because currently Kuna is in behind. That could be an issue.
Definitely. If he decides to come out, maybe he's gonna just bunker up. Maybe he's expecting somebody to come through, and he's gonna come in a little bit too late. It really just depends on basically what GageL try to do here as soon as the pause comes off. If they, as you said, linger and choke for even just a few more seconds, or if they immediately try to take as much ground as they possibly can. Either way, they're given a lot so far. So if they can take it quickly, that would definitely help them. With Matt as well, he's not in a particularly great situation. I mean, obviously he's trying to spam out Bobs and Mist on the high ground, but ultimately he's not going to accomplish much unless there's a distraction for him. So this looks like a tough hole to crack, all things considered. If you're in the position of GageL here, you're gonna have to account for a lot of things, definitely.
I could definitely see them just like looking at the situation and then backing out because they don't want to go for it. Like, Sprite has been very aggressive overall in this match so far, so I think his natural inclination is to just walk in, and you know, maybe that's just gonna pull in the rest of the team, and that could be a good or a bad thing. So who knows? I think this is a good time to point out that on TF2L, there's a cracker of a game going on. It's currently tied between those two teams, and it's looking very good. So definitely make sure you pay TF2L a visit and look at Ascent versus Swift. I kind of thought Ascent were going to struggle against Swift, but no, it's tied. And there's like 3 minutes remaining, and they're not paused. They have a lot of stuff going for them here.
Well, speaking of pause, it immediately comes off, probably just to let somebody connect, so I wouldn't be surprised the game actually resumes momentarily. Yep, there you go. Alright, let's see what they actually end up doing here, if they do what we thought they were going to do. And it looks like GageL have opted not to do that and back out instead. Solid choice.
Yeah, indeed. It was kind of the thing we were talking about where it can be very dangerous to walk through these chokes, and yeah, both scouts actually ended up dying. That's kind of unusual. Usually a soldier's going to jump in very aggressively, but yeah, they couldn't make it in, and then when the scouts were retreating, they just got completely pummeled by explosives. And then that's what happens sometimes. We're paused again. You know, this is one of those turn-based matches, I think, where they just take time to discussing, like, all right, okay, so we didn't make it through choke. Let's pause here and just talk it through. Like, what do we do now? We're 2 players down. Do we just get out completely, or do we, we have all the explosive classes, so we can spam real hard. And, they do have to walk through this choke and then into this little valley. There's a lot of space to maneuver around in the valley, but it's also a valley where you're on the low ground, so it's not the best place to fight. So you could definitely get an Uber force out, kind of ish, so to speak. Well, I mean, you can get the medic if you walk too far forward. Ubers are not even close to being a factor right now. But, it kind of depends on, like, is Matt fully loaded? What about Milky? Does he have enough to actually just jump into the choke? Because I could see if both soldiers just jump into choke really aggressively, then they could just murder everything, because Tops is pretty weak. He's going to need an arrow. Kuna's not buffed. And then, of course, DQC, he's not with them right now, and neither is Lancer. So if they're careful, they can just get completely obliterated in this choke, like just blown up. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much to glean otherwise from this position, obviously. Again, we know GageL basically just on a retreating position at this point, and who knows if they turn it around once we unpause. Again, we'll see. There's a lot of technical difficulties going on. Matter of fact, maybe this is the exact point at which the player in question that it was paused for in the first place crashed. So we don't even know that yet. That could completely change the outcome of the fight. You don't know. Maybe Cars just died. You don't know. Could very well be, and then everything suddenly changes. Though if everything goes according to plan here and the game does resume, yep, GageL just going to back out, and they're just going to continue backing out. Let's see how they try to change the turn. When is somebody going to finally play Pot of Greed so we can get some momentum going here? God damn.
Yeah, it looks like neither soldier were in a position where they could actually jump in through choke, so they are just completely out. There's a sneaky trap in choke. It's been spotted. So unless Cars just decides to jump around the wall and just like hug it, give it a little kiss, he's probably going to be fine. And it's just everyone's just retreating to last. These 2 scouts, I can't remember what the respawn time is. I can't see it when I upload reload the HUD. So I'm just going to go with it's about 2 seconds before the scouts spawn. So I would say it's probably just going to be maybe getting up on engineer and building a sentry gun and hoping for the best here, as they're going to hold last. They actually have an Uber advantage, but it's very difficult to push out a last with a small Uber advantage like this.
Yeah, at least it allows you to maybe hold though, and they are 2 rounds up with the timer ticking down. Besides all of our pauses, we are halfway through the map. Being 2 rounds up after the halfway point is not a bad score to just decide to slow the game down on if you so desire. And even if you find yourself on your own last, any minute you can shave off the clock is one that is in your favor. So we'll have to see if they maybe decide to go with that strategy here. The teams now find themselves on their Ubers though, or at least very, very close. DQC does pick up a soldier, and Lupa's gonna get chased out as well. Lancer's gonna pick him up, so that's 2 players down on your defense. Now it's not looking that good anymore. They're gonna pick up Kuna with a nice trap here, and the Ubers do get exchanged, so no demo for the side of Virtus.Bro. There's gonna clean up DQZ. Oh, he missed us, finally getting the frags. Okay, he's cleaning up Matt and Sprite, and Lancer's gonna help him clean up Tord as well. It's only flick around. XQQ is gonna come in, but it's not enough. That's a round for Virtus.Bro right there.
Yeah, that really worked out for them. Like, Kaz was in so deep with his team, and this is one of those situations where it worked out, because he was just in the thick of things, distributing heals really aggressively, and it actually worked out. And then, you know, Tord even dropped out of the match. He's back, but this is going to be a very weird mid. I don't think it's going to be an actual mid fight. Like, no one on the KGL are actually buffed in any regard. I don't think they're even going to bother trying to get through this choke with no heals. And that's a bit unfortunate that they're going to lose this mid to that. But hey, they
didn't expect the sniper, that's for sure.
Yeah.
EQC is gonna pay with his life there, just so Lupus can pad out his sniper logs ever so slightly. That's a cheeky thing to do, I guess. If you're not gonna roll out to mid, you might as well set up a sniper on second and see if you can get a cheeky little peek off. In this case, when we pick up a soldier, it's better than nothing, but definitely not the pick he was looking for. And the threat persists. He's definitely gonna be able to pressure down some sidelines here. And Virtus.Bro choose where they want to push. Yeah, that's an aggressive one actually, through sewer. They're gonna lose Tobbs just trying to bomb in, not getting the flash quite right away, and obviously the response comes out of Torrid here, so they're gonna clean up some of the stragglers that were left in, but an impressive try, an impressive attempt. Nice try, I suppose. DKZ's in a great position as well to try and get some damage done onto Torrid. Is he gonna clean him up? No, not quite. You hate to see it.
9 health is all that remains of that medic's life, but almost killing a medic, that's the same as not killing a medic. So that's really unfortunate. Alright, we've got another pause here to keep us busy.
My god, what is happening with the players in this game?
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say you have plans for tonight, because that's what usually happens whenever teams decide to pause all the time. It's just like, you know, you've got to go. Maybe you have to pee a little bit. Like, there's just something wrong where you kind of go, okay, I'm really tired. Let's just end this early, and then they just go, nope, two 1-hour maps. Let's go. But
I mean, I already expected this to be a rather long match. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if at least one of these maps even went to a golden cap. But if we're gonna take an hour to even get through the regular time of the first map, then yeah, we're gonna be here for a while, I feel. I don't know if I signed up for this, but I guess I'm stuck with it now. That being said, we're having some wonderful backwards momentum here, and by that I mean rebounded momentum from the side of Gagale. They're pushing forward again, so that's something I like to see.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get this mid, and then I think they're going to be in a pretty good position to take second here as well. I don't think the medic's going to be up in time to actually give any kind of heals. The sniper in this forward spawn is not the best forward spawn sniper position on any map. It's not that impressive. There's like a few angles that you can hit, but mostly it's just like a soldier flying through the air, and he's kind of difficult to hit. But one of the things that I'm wondering about right now is that we've seen a couple of times where Virtus.Bro just go on some sort of extremely aggressive push, where we would kind of normally go, oh, that's probably not enough advantage to push on, or there's not really a situation where you would normally push, and then they just push super aggressively. And we've seen it backfire at least twice now, where they just go in so aggressively that it doesn't work out. And then we have also seen the time they actually did get a point, they also pushed in very aggressively, where I was kind of like almost taking it back at how deep in the cars even was with that team, and that worked out for them. So it might just be a thing that they're very, very aggressive, and if you're ready for them and it doesn't work out, it's
disastrous.
Yeah. Like, it might also be that they can't count Uber. One of the two.
Who knows? Maybe just decide I don't give a damn about that Uber thing. I'm just gonna right click when I get it and I see an enemy in front of me. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, definitely the aggression is quite something to write home about. It is very hit or miss, but if you do catch the enemy team off guard, if you're that aggressive, and like it's not something you usually expect, right? Then you can very well catch people off guard, and if they're not ready for it, it seems like Gagale have definitely, seemingly at least to an extent, have become accustomed to it. They seem to expect it a little bit more now that the aggressive pushes are gonna come in, but you can catch people out when they're just like, why would somebody push there, right?
Yeah. Like we've had a couple of those kind of teams in Prem before, and usually the way it works is that it kind of has some sort of success early on in the season, and then as people get more and more used to it, they just kind of hit a wall, and they're unable to really make it work. But you know, we're early in the season, so this could definitely work out. You know, maybe people have just gotten better. Who knows? All right, we're live again.
Let's
And,
see for how long until the next turn starts. We'll have to see. That being said, they actually do have the ability to mount a little bit of an ult here. Sprite trying to go in, getting absolutely decimated. The rest of the team trying to follow up as well. They were not counting on these forward spawners to actually come in time. And they're going to lose 2 players immediately. Now going to be back forced to mid here. Lupus on sniper is not great if you try to back out. He's not going to hit a shot. He's actually going to die. And they've only lost top so far. The aggression just keeps going by Virtus. Just talked about it, and they're just gonna keep pushing him. I'm actually surprised they didn't choose to continue on through mid here and actually just cap out the point instead.
I think my theory about them not being able to counter Uber is just wrong, because I think they countered Uber and went, no, we shouldn't push into this.
Maybe they did, yep. It seems like they definitely did. Considering the Uber does come in out of turret and there's absolutely nobody anywhere around for them to meet it with. Now Car's coming up on his own. Gonna have to just respond with that. Obviously, if he cannot pop here, that would be his most desirable outcome. And it looks like just the pressure of that Uber alone is gonna be enough. Torret's standing in a very weird spot. I think this might be where he crashed. Yeah, I would assume that's that. This is probably the point at which the pause actually happened. All right, so I think we can maybe glean how this round is gonna go if one team has lost their medic.
Yeah, well, it's gonna make the match more exciting, so to speak. And looks like they've actually gotten a Merc in here, and at least that's what they're saying they're gonna do. They have on pause. They're moving in here until as the sniper and spawn, not gonna be able to hit anything. Still Stiggy's on the point, but Lance is actually gonna just body shot Lupus down. And here we go. They're gonna try everyone to get them back. Torret is back in the server, so they did not get a Merc. That was just something they said in chat, and they have actually done a really good job of holding last despite not having a medic for a very long time. XQQ comes in. No, it's going to find a pipe here from Kuna, and this might just be the beginning of a V-push coming out from Virtus.Bro.
I will have to see. They just did lose tops there, so trying to push with a soldier down might be a rough thing. It looks like AJ are gonna hold on ever so slightly. I don't know if that's actually Torret. His cosmetics seem to have changed very drastically when he rejoined, so I'm not sure about that part. And well, there does happen to be an Uber coming in the meantime from Virtus.Bro. They're gonna pick up fake Torret. I'm just gonna call him that for the time being. But other than that, they're not really finding many kills. I mean, Lancer does fight Lupus, but that's about it. And everybody else is just getting cleaned up here. Yeah, just another one of those disastrous Uber pushes we've seen many a times now from Virtus.Bro.
Yeah, it does sometimes happen when a new player joins, especially when there's pauses involved. You don't actually get to see who it is. I'm gonna like rejoin the server, all right? So just take over for a bit, and I'll be right back.
Sure thing. I'll try to keep you up to date as to what's happening. Currently, the teams are staring at each other through the choke point of mid. Nobody's actually even peeking any sideline, as a matter of fact, because I think Lupus is... No, he's not actually on sniper anymore. I don't think there's any sniper, matter of fact. Everybody's just kind of chilling, kind of waiting on their Ubers. Not much going on. Everybody's very, very passive. I mean, obviously, KGL just mounted here to try and hold this point as hard as they possibly can. And,
I figured him out. It's Bluey.
Ooh.
With 2 E's. Blue with 2 E's is in here.
Alright.
So that's the hidden identity there. There's just something weird when people join where you can't see the right name after a while.
Yeah, it actually updated for me now. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alright, now I can actually tell that it is indeed blue. Alright. Now we know what is going on. DKZ's gonna bomb in the meantime. He's not gonna meet anything but his own death, unfortunately. So, a nice sack attempt, however, he's not gonna put down enough damage to actually have things happening. So again, they're in the attacking side here though, and it's gonna be maybe a little bit of space trying to be made here by the Gagiel. Maybe they'll go for a counter sack. Maybe they'll just try to hold back any sort of aggression that they can and get another cheeky pick. We'll have to see. They do have Lupus on the sniper yet again. My man has probably played more sniper this game than he has played scout, as far as I can tell. So
yeah, I'm pretty curious. Usually pausing kind of messes with the time measurements of stuff in here. So if he was like on sniper when it was paused, maybe it's just gonna say that he was sniper way more than he actually was. But he has played a lot of sniper, and that was the first soldier jumping in. He will not find anything. Second soldier comes in. He's like, no, my my decoy actually got murdered, so I'm just not even going to go in there. And Lucas, he's just going to continue to try and find an angle. It's usually very difficult to find a good shot, but not for Lucas apparently. He's going to find Kuna there trying to get some spam off. And that's going to open it up. This medic is so weak and he's going to get popped. Really good execution there. The execute key eventually does go down, but that took forever. That was a really good Uber force.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you have that full advantage sitting back. I mean, you do have the sniper, but Lupus has definitely been pulling his weight. Just another nice headshot onto Lancer. They're almost killing him. Not quite getting it, though. That overheal just slightly cutting him out of that one. Tob's essentially just having to run for his life. Maybe he's even going to die. He's not going to get cut off just yet, but DQZ's actually in onto Sprite. Can he? Yeah, he can actually kill him. He does get shot down by Lupus, though. My man, oh my lord, did he actually just hit that on cars? Ooh, okay. I think he's starting to pop off.
Yeah, Lancer thought the same thing, so he's going to just barrel in onto him and get him down there. So that was a nice shot. Lou's going to pop his Uber there to save himself. That's probably what his Devilman's going to come in, though. Ooh. Nice jump in from Kuna. 2 crisp stickies going to take him down. Can't get the soldier before he dies, though, but that's a nice little salvage situation right here. They're going to get a bunch of spawners. There's only 2 soldiers capping it out, so it's going to be a slow cap, so they might even be able to come in here and contest it. You can see the walking forward, they might even be thinking about it, taking the fight here because they have heals. Now, we could just see this point continuously change hands. And it looks like, yeah, they don't want to fight at all. Yeah, they gave you
a wise choice. Yeah. Wise choice. If you do not have those heals, it is a fool's errand to even try contest the point like that. They're gonna just back out to their second point and try to hold that with the Ubers now in the favor of Virtus.Bro. We might see an aggressive push again. That's what they tend to do, and they might be aware that the Ubers are a lot better here because they did force blue so late. They might just end up taking it aggressively through IT. That looks like it's exactly what they're doing, and they're actually, yeah, like GageL is so far back they don't even have to contest whatsoever. They're just waiting for their own Uber. While, yeah, aggression carrying forward by Virtus here, absolutely no surprise. They're going to try to take this into last as fast as they can. No Uber up on, okay, on blue now, and he's going to contest it, so he's going to have the slightly better Uber here. But they're going to lose Tobbs and Sprite on either side. Mist is going to go down as well. Frags are falling in the favor of GageL, and they're going to be able to hold on a lot easier. Those 2 players out of the picture.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice. Nice pipe there from Kuna's going to take down Flick. That was pretty beautiful. It was a pretty bad situation overall. Like, they weren't in a position to actually push very aggressively, but now, with the scout down, they're a man up. They could definitely send in a soldier or a scout if they so wanted to. It looks like Lance is going to try and force his way through. He's going to fight the barrel of a gun instead. Good job there by Lucas shutting that down. And now, they might just try to go for the counter-sack. The XQQ fights DQC, so the battle of the letters there. And it's going to go to DQC in the first round. It looks like no sniper at all. It's just going to be pure cookie cutter from the attacking team right now.
Yeah, they're going to try to force their way in here. The sentry isn't quite up yet. Yeah, it's only a level 1, so they're going to take that down immediately. Open up a lot more space. Uber coming out yet again out of cars, but they're not going to accomplish much besides pushing people away from the point and just walking on it. Okay.
Sprite got destroyed there. That was really good. They just did They did basically the beater special, which is where you Uber in, they pop, you go back out, and then you just build really aggressively, and then you just Uber in. Just assume that they're not building right. And yeah, it worked out really well. Yeah. Blue hadn't been building Uber very well, so he did not have the Uber himself. And they just managed to get 2 scouts onto the point. Sprite get demolished, and that's that.
Yeah, that being said, we are tied up, and we're with 3 minutes left onto what could be our last bit of the map. So let's see if either team can close this out and take the map in regular time. With Matt being the first player to go down, that's a significant amount of firepower missing for the side of GageL. And all the players forced down into the low ground and bunched up on this ground here. They're gonna clean up Mist and get a little bit of breathing room for Flick on the high ground, but he's gonna get pressured out immediately. Possibly, no, he's not gonna die just yet, but oh, now he's dead. Yeah, I think they're just going to have to back out here, but Sprite down as well. That's probably the final nail in the coffin for this mid-fight. And if they can hang on to anything here, if they can somehow stem this aggression out of Virtus.Bro, they just keep rolling forward. They haven't even capped mid yet, and they already have all of their players in choke. Just looking to aggress so much onto GageL and give them absolutely no breathing room whatsoever.
Yeah, they're not playing to tie this. They're not happy with it. They want to go all the way and actually get 3 points. Like, who wants 2 point or 1 point? That's not enough. Top gonna get absolutely just stunted in the air. They're trying to get in, get a shot. He will survive though, so that's kind of fine. Cars takes a bunch of spam here as well, so they have managed to get it out mostly alive, but they took a lot of damage doing so. So they're going to be in a very defensive position right now. Kuna's going to go forward. He's going to be posturing very aggressively and choke, and that will cause the rest of the team to go back there. He actually hits a nice pipe onto the enemy demo. That's going to be the end of all that pressure coming out from the gate GL. And now we're going to be settling into this situation where, like, when do you decide to push? When do you send in a suicide? Do you even have time? There's 1.5 minutes remaining. And, you know, you're not in the last position because normally you kind of go, okay, we're just going to wait until there's 30 seconds left and then push because then we can't lose. But this is a bit of a different situation. As Matt's actually going to go down, so sort it down, not enough spam.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they actually just caught him out just like that. The entire team rotating into IT, completely overwhelming Matt. The Uber exchange finally does come out. Lancer is going to get dropped just before he can get flashed. And Car's actually going to keep it solo onto his other scout here. Better Uber out of him, definitely. XQQ trying to contest ever so slightly, but GHL just getting pushed back and they're getting forced back to their last. At the very least, it's definitely out of the question that they're going to get another round here. And it's down to basically whether or not they're going to go into a golden cap or whether they're going to lose the map to Virtus.Bro within the next 40 seconds that we have left here. With a heavy up on Lupus as well. They obviously don't want to lose that map. They're trying every single thing they can pull out of the wheelhouse here. Any bit of firepower does help. They do get tops with it, but is it going to be enough? When you already lost your heavy now, DQZ's going to jump in high, going to do a lot of damage on players with a shutter there, yeah. That looks like it, yep. XQQ trying to come in for that last little bomb there, but it is too little, too late. And Virtus.Bro take the map with a 3-2.
Just like we called it, Surney. Just like we called it.
Definitely a little bit mushy in between, but the two halves of the sandwich that matter at the start and the end, they were correct.
Indeed. So that was pretty much a comeback, right? They were down 2-0, and then they just got the next 3 rounds in a row, maybe with a bit of help from some internet troubles from our friendly medic Torrid. But that's what I said. You don't bet on Torrid.
Well, now he's not playing anymore, so can you really spite him?
Sure. Like, I intend to make any pickup game that I'm ever in with him super awkward for myself by being unnecessarily toxic. That's just how I roll.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 points for Virtus.Bro in Prem. So already, yeah, looks like they deserve to be here. But we still have another map to go. That's going to be Sunshine. But first we're going to look at the logs here for process. So the first thing I look at is obviously that all the damage per minute stuff is super low because of the way logs work. It keeps ticking off time when the game is paused. So this is a 36-minute game according to logs, even though it's a 30-minute one. So all the damage per minute ones is going to be really bad. But yeah, Kuna's going to be number 1 with 224 DPM. He had 8,000 damage, so that feels like around 3,000 or 300 damage per minute, maybe a little bit less.
It's 266.
266. All right, I'll trust you. You did the math.
I did do the math. I typed it into a calculator because I was curious.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, even if you consider that, it's not a terribly high damage game. I mean, probably because a lot of players spent their time dead a lot of the time, you know? Both teams always pushed very aggressively. The fights didn't drag on very long, and there weren't a lot of stalemates, so there wasn't a lot of spamming happening, I assume. That's probably what you could write that off on. Besides the fact that we had to pause for like 6 minutes.
yeah, that was a thing, for sure. All right, Flick actually did really well. He went 25 for 14, and like, is he the retro guy? I guess that's his name on ETF2L.
I don't know what is going on with the match page on PFTV and why there's player names listed that are clearly not the names for people on ETF2L. But
yeah,
you know, I don't even know if XQQ is actually Milky or not. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's a big mystery.
We'll figure it out as the season goes along. Maybe the thread will unravel itself as we get further down the line.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else in these logs that you think is worth paying attention to?
I'm having a gleam. I mean, Car's got 1 kill. That's obviously always something to write home about as a medic. No matter what, very important. Get that medic kill. I'm actually curious. How much time did each player spend on sniper? Lupus spent a solid 11 minutes on sniper. Yeah, it is obviously considering the pause and stuff, but still, the further of the game.
Yeah, that's a long time. He likes his sniper, and Sunshine is probably a little bit worse for sniper than Process is. So maybe he's gonna dial it back. You can still play sniper on Sunshine quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
People like to say that this is essentially the same map because it has the same basic layout of, oh, there's a choke. Oh, there's a valley. Oh, there's a little room that you can go to between the middle and the second point. It's essentially the same map as Process, right? I mean, that's how it works. Just like how every map in CSGO is basically just Dust 2, but different.
Yeah, this is what I said yesterday, and I got proven wrong really hard in a Div 1 game, where the first map on Process ended 5-0, and then the second map on Sunshine ended 0-2. So in the complete opposite direction. There can be a big difference between these two maps, and we've seen that already in this season. So I'm definitely not gonna boil it down to, oh, it's just gonna be the same thing, but yeah, I feel like Sniper is slightly worse on Sunshine, just because when you snipe from second into middle and middle into second, it's very difficult to get a good angle.
Yeah, but you basically have Cafe, and that's about it, actually. Yeah. If you can get lucky, you might get a good angle from choke if you catch a player out of place very terribly, but for the most part, it is tough.
Yeah, it's a bit harder to actually get a good angle into somewhere where you could conceivably get the medic down. Like, you can always snipe through flowers and get a soldier or whatever. Like, that can still happen, so you can still snipe. You have a lot of space to work with, but it's kind of hard to get these things in here. But we're going to go in here to map 2. We saw a pretty good comeback there from Virtus.Bro, making it so that they got 3 points. But we got another map with another 3 points on the line here, so it's going to be Gayjail versus Virtus.Bro on Sunshine, map 2, ETF2L Season 36, Week 1. Take it away, Surney.
And it looks like we also have Gayjail reunited with their official medic, so let's see if his internet is gonna hold up. As this first mid-fight commences, Soldier's going high, but no frags falling just yet. Actually, Milky is gonna die to fall damage, so a player down for Gayjail here. Matt is gonna try to respond. Doesn't hit the air shot onto top, is gonna get cleaned up himself instead, and now with both soldiers down and a lot of damage being dealt to your combo, Tor's actually gonna die to DQZ. Oh no, Flick's also gonna get taken down. That's a pretty disastrous mid. Not only do you lose it, but you also lose your medic that late. This could just be the round already if you're being honest.
Losing your medic is bad, but losing your medic late is really, really bad. It's like 4 times as bad. That was some beautiful penciling there by DQC. Just got the angle up over the overhang and then got the medic with his last dying rocket there. So they're gonna have this full advantage going into last.
Wouldn't be surprised if they manage to convert around here. Obviously, we do have Lupus up on the Pyro. The Cecil off-classer already just whipping out everything he's got in his arsenal. He's gonna try to just delay this Uber ever so slightly, but is it enough? Matt is gonna go down, Flick the only player on the point, and it's not gonna be enough. That's a very, very quick first round.
That was just pure momentum. Just basically, going from that mid-fight into last. And this happens sometimes. Basically, every great team has lost rounds to some really garbage teams, just off of losing a mid really horribly badly. And this is what we saw here, not as in like the teams are good or whatever, but it was just the fact that this mid was just so crushing that it just couldn't stabilize at all.
Yeah, and then we're gonna head into a second one. Let's see if Virtus carry any form of momentum off the back of that. Like, it certainly is a big morale booster. We'll see how they do it. They do pick up Matt, and Milky's in very deep. He actually does get onto cars. That's a huge, crucial pick here. Torrid is now just going to have to stay safe. And DQZ is very aggressive, so he might try. They do have him spotted out, but he might get a cheeky rocket onto... not really. It's not going to be enough.
He gets a scout.
Does get a scout, I suppose.
Kuna's in as well. This is a
as is missed, actually. They're trying everything. They have to try to go for Torrid there. They do get him dangerously low, but it is just not enough.
I mean, they could have just sat back and taken it slow and just delayed them a whole bunch and spammed them out of second. That's a second way of playing it, but they went for the aggression way, and we've kind of seen this a bunch of times, so we probably shouldn't be surprised at this point that's how they decided to do it.
I mean, it's Virtus, exactly. They decide to do things that way, so It is not out of the ordinary. That being said, Cars is coming up on his Uber rather soon, so the longer Torrid takes here to Uber in his team, the quicker that advantage fades away. That being said, he still walks it in so deep before finally right-clicking. They even take down the Sentry before, and Kuna and Tobbs both get taken down as well. Cars finally up on his own Uber to respond with now. They're just gonna have to run away.
Get out.
Yeah, Torrid's gonna get cleaned up, and if these other Virtus players can clean up the damage here, Lancer is finding himself on a low ground with Miss actually very low as well. DQZ, only player really close on the point right now. It's Matt versus... Okay, alright, Miss is gonna clean him up. They're gonna hang on by a thread. By a single thin thread, but it is enough.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with the game, but I just saw that there's like this control panel on last overlooking the rocket. I had never seen this before.
Have you really not?
Yeah, there's like a chair and a clipboard next to a cabinet. I had no idea. Anyway, probably we should talk about important stuff. That
really?
blew my mind. But there's like actual design on this map. And so they're really contesting second really heavily right now, and they actually have very good positioning. So the GTL, they got the positioning going and they're pulling everyone back. And like Matt's gonna go down, but he got a bunch of space in return, and I think it's gonna be enough here.
It might very well be. It looks like HL can maybe inch out this cap. They definitely can, but they're gonna pop off Torrid. He's gonna force out his Uber so he doesn't lose any more players, or his own life for that matter. Let's see if that is gonna be enough though. He's gonna be able to keep Sprite or himself alive with the onslaught of these two scouts just pressuring them out. They will indeed escape. But, at least they capped the point for a while. Slowed down the game, I suppose.
Yeah, they got the point there, so that was definitely a very important part. I was kind of surprised at how little that the Virtus.Bro actually just prioritized the point, but they just wanted players, and it worked out for them really well. The Lupus, he was far forward, he's going to get picked off. Top's going to get an arrow, he's going to get ready to just jump in very aggressively here. This soldier not going to be able to get out, runs into an Uber scout, and they're just trying to chase down as many players as possible. Demoman super weak, but unable to be picked off, at least for now. And this scout is going to just find himself in there. Actually, Mist was not caught in here. It's just Torrid alive against a Demoman. Oh my god, runs into him.
Just runs right into that pipe, unfortunately. He tried to turn around and like just get that extra little speed for holding W instead of S, but even that wasn't
being
enough.
chased by a soldier.
And a scout for that matter. Okay, yeah, he's gonna get out, but gonna meet up with his team again on mid. Lupus is very far forward here as well. He may be looking to get a little cheeky play there, but he sees that there are 4 players in front of him, all of them basically looking at him, so decided to opt out of that and meet back up with his team. Trying to hold second now. Again, GageL on the back foot. You don't want to see that when you're a round down, but they do have a lot of time to play with. So let's see what they try to do as they hold the second point here. With a big Uber dissat, they're probably aware of that. Would explain the very, very passive positioning here. Basically almost giving it up for free.
Yeah, that was very passive. They could have held a lot further forward if they had some cojones there, but instead they're just going to give it up, and now he's just going to be using on the last.
Yeah, they're going to use the Uber in on the last, but Kuna's going to get tacked down to a lot of damage, so he's going to actually be out of this push for the longest time. But Lupus trying his best to right-click on people as well. Oh, it's just not getting enough frags, though. The Uber does come out, actually, so they're going to be able to hold on to the point ever so slightly longer. Lupus is going to burn people to death. Is it going to be enough against everything re-aggressing, though? Absolutely not. That's a second round in the books for Virtus.Bro.
Yeah, almost saving it there, but just great aggression there. I really do feel like there should have been more spam on the second point there, just in the chokes, to just slow everything down. And that's just kind of a demonstration of you need to be better at keeping track of the exact Uber percentages going on there, because it did take a little while before Uber actually came into effect there, and they were able to just use it on last. But yeah, that's going to be 2-0 here, so Virtus.Bro, they won 5 in a row now.
They definitely want to keep that rolling, keep the snowball rolling down that hill, turning bigger and bigger. Sprite down early as well as Flick now. It means that's, again, 2 players down for GageL here. Top's going deep, not quite getting a frag though. Torrid dangerously low to having to back off. Lupus essentially dead. There he goes. Matt also getting cleaned up now. It's just Torrid and Milky alive. Milky's going to try to defend his medic, and he looks like he's not gonna...
Oh my god, Torrid! Oh. How did he survive? He didn't survive. He didn't bandy bind.
Oh, he didn't do the bind switch.
Maybe he was just like spamming it, but he didn't start spamming it in time because there is a small delay from when you press the button.
There is. That's
true. Man, that was really close. Like somehow he juked that first rocket. I was like, oh no, there's no way. And then there was no way. It turns out, but yeah, we're gonna have this uber advances coming in here. Gonna buff in the demo man very quickly. Soda's gonna go and see if we can get to the others one, but this Pyro's just dropping him in the corner without really killing anyone. Sticky's on the point, not really doing anything, but it's just the Sticky's remaining. And demo man just getting completely overwhelmed, gets taken down. Tort's gonna preserve his medic stats there. Good job, Tort.
That's what matters.
It's fine. He lost one to like a drop. I'm not mad. It all works out in the end. But that's gonna be 3-0 here for Virtus.Bro. They are just really hitting their stride at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they've used that first game as a warm-up, and now that they've gained some momentum, it's just the car that keeps on running, the truck barreling down the highway. Nothing can really stop it, and Gage will have to put up a little bit of a wall here to try and just get their footing again. Both soldiers going high on Virtus.Bro, just deep in onto the enemy team. They're going to pick up Flick. Top is going to go and die on his own, though. DQZ bombing in deep as well. Lots of damage onto his targets, but can he finish them off? No, he can't. The rest of the players also going down on their team, on the enemy team, though. Like, it's just Lupus and Tort left again, so...
Lupus is actually going in kind of aggressive. I'm kind of surprised they're not just running straight back to last. They are eventually gonna realize that they have nothing to do out there. But just currently, it seems like all of the Gage, it's kind of disjointed right now. We just saw the soldiers jump in one at a time. Almost like first soldier jumped in, got cleaned up, then the second soldier came in, got cleaned up. Whereas both Tops and DQC, they basically came in at the exact same time and did a ton of damage, and then the team was able to follow up on it very well. So it just seems like they have better coordination right now.
Definitely, they just hold the team cohesively together a little bit more easily. That being said, the Uber on the side of Virtus there, a little unfortunate.
Lupus even gets a spy pistol kill.
You love to see those. Yep, that's a full Uber ad now for Tor. They're gonna try to immediately just take this out.
Wait, he killed someone on spy and didn't go back to spawn.
He's committed. Oh my god.
Oh, and they got back. Oh.
I was confused for a minute. I wasn't actually paying attention. I was like so absorbed in the spy play and like the fight going on at second. And then I look over and I see a little Lancer through the wall. And I hear that there's a point being capped. Oh, whoops, there you go. That's a 4th round. Just like that for Virtus.Bro.
Oh, that's tragic.
That is absolute. And it's like you have the spy, but you're the one getting back capped. That is like, it's the double whammy. It's insult to injury. Oh my lord. Let's see how this potential final round. This could be, if the momentum keeps up for Virtus here, which it certainly looks like it is. Again, 4 players killed already on mid. Matt, the only player alive. And he's going to be lucky to even get anything done. Missed on a 5k in that mid. Huge players.
Just chewing players up. DQC is running forward. DG's already been called in chat, so they are just demoralized. So currently we have DQC, he's being cheeky, he's hiding here on last. Yeah, he didn't get quite in deep enough to actually do anything about that. Lupus is trying to be a hero here with a sniper. He gets jumped by the soldier, just gets spammed out. So now they're going to continue to have the super advantage, but they do need to pop it pretty early when they know there's a sniper.
Absolutely. That being said, Lupus is very passive. Yeah, okay, they do push at the top side, the more reasonable one to do. And they do Uber in, but they don't actually pick up anything besides Matt. They're in the Uber. Tora's gonna get cleaned up in the post Uber though, and the scouts are just going ham all over the place. Sprite now coming in with some damage on his own, getting missed, cleaned up as well, and it just leaves Cars and Tops both very disconnected as well. Tops might just try to go for another back cap here, while Torres is gonna be left for dead and choke. Is he actually gonna get? Okay, no. They had Flick on loss. They left a single player on loss. They learned from their mistakes. I am in awe.
And XQQ, he's on the direct hit now. I've seen him play this quite a bit. I have yet to see it be like super effective, but you know, this is usually where glory is made. DQC is on it as well. I heard someone say that the XQQ and DQC is the same player. Well, yeah, currently they are. They're both playing direct hit, so they're not making it easier for chat to keep them apart. I obviously would never make that mistake. Never, ever.
Absolutely not. No. It's just 3-letter names. What's so hard about it, you know? The three-letter acronym could be anything. You don't even know what it stands for. It could be an acronym. It could just be a keyboard slam. You never know. Maybe it's the bank password. You know.
Maybe it's like one of those Kosa thing where it's like the click sound.
You never know. Maybe it's like a normal word, but you've taken out all the vowels. People tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's like a thing in like old languages as well, right? They wouldn't write out. Oh, Uber just gets popped here while someone's getting owned by a direct hit. All right, that's a thing.
Yep. You're gonna try to immediately take that back in. Obviously, Car's gonna respond, getting bombed deep like that. Now, oof, Torque gonna have to back off, getting hit by a good rocket there. Finding himself low on HP, gonna have to back off. Miss is gonna clean up Flick, and the rest of the striking players are just trying to run for their lives here. Lupus is actually gonna clean up Kuna before dying himself, and Torque is the only player left alive. I mean, he does live, but what kind of life is it as a soul medic trying to arrow people? I mean, I guess they kill tops with it, so who am I to judge, right? Lance just gonna pick up Sprite, though. Just the aggressive sniper play. I didn't even know he was on sniper, to be honest. I wasn't even paying attention to that fact. He's gonna get another shot. Why wouldn't he be? It's almost, you could almost say it's garbage time.
Yeah.
There's a pause.
Did they? No, they shut down the server. I saw the GG lag.
Yeah, alright.
I was like, did they pause the game after the match ended just to troll us? But no, I think they just actually like shut down the server. So yeah, let's see if they even uploaded logs. I'm gonna assume they did. But other than that, yeah, it was quite the comeback there. It was indeed over, and that was a 2-0 in favor of the Gage Yale, and then all of a sudden, just 7 rounds in a row, just like that.
I think it's probably the catalyst of having your medic's internet die repeatedly. That just takes any form of momentum you would have ever had out of your sails. Any wind that could have been blowing you forward is just gone. So, you know.
Yeah. All right. It was Lanzer's fault. So point fingers at him, please. Everyone, I'm gonna see if I can get them in here to do an interview, because you know they're new in Prem. I kind of want to hear what their goals are, but they're just looking at the logs. We've got missed 27-3. That's a good game right there.
I'm just looking at like the overall stats, and I've just realized like Virtus.Bro almost had twice as many kills as a team on that second map. Like that's how you know it's a roll.
Oh yeah.
Jesus. All right. Yeah, that's a GG, definitely.
Man, they just got demoralized, I think, after losing that.
Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. We'll see. Maybe if any players do want to get interviewed, and if they want to give their thoughts on whatever this slight mess of a game was, then we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, it was not a pretty game. All right, we actually do have Sprite. Maybe he's gonna show up. I think I saw him very briefly in the Interview Me channel. I don't know. Maybe he got cold feet. It can happen. But yeah,
we'll see.
Definitely interested to hear. Oh, okay. He's actually in here. So yeah, commiserations, Sprite. So yeah, well, congratulations on making it to Prem, I suppose I should say. But yeah, how was that game for you?
It started off alright, but the second map was kind of more people tilting, I think, than anything. And after their mid timed out, people started to get a bit upset because obviously they definitely won at least one round because of that, but maybe 2, arguably. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses.
I'll definitely be willing to grant you that they probably got a round or 2 from that. So were you just unable to stabilize? Were you just kind of like tilted off the face of the planet?
Oh no, it's not so much that. It's like we couldn't swing the momentum back in our favor, and then going into Sunshine, we were just getting demolished on mid. So like the thing that was going like pretty well for us in Process wasn't going so well for us on Sunshine, and it definitely showed.
All right. Is Sunshine generally a worse map for you guys than Process?
I'm not sure. We're too early in team stays to really say that for sure.
All right. So I'm kind of wondering what's the goal for you going into this season? How well do you think you guys are going to be able to do?
I'm aiming for that first place, Peter. Gotta get that W.
Hell yeah.
Well, I admire your your optimism. So do you think you're gonna like? Who do you think specifically you're most likely to get points off of?
Everyone, bro. Like you gotta believe, you know. Gotta have that confidence.
All right, so you're playing against the Church of Jizunas, aka Not Aura Electra, next week. So how do you plan? What's going to be the key to win against those guys?
Listen, don't worry. I know Condog's every move. Okay, I've studied the Condog.
All right, how did you study him?
Listen, we go back. You know, we've cut it off the records. It's been blacklisted. You know, it never happened. Season 33. Look into it.
All right. Okay. Do you have any questions here before we give him some shoutouts?
I don't think there's much for me to ask about. No, it's just I mean, you've basically said anything that I would have wanted to ask about, like how the team felt and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So if you got any shoutouts, maybe to like Towards Internet or something, now's the time. That's right.
Yeah, shout out to my team. Shout out to Mars and the boys. Shout out to Crunch. Shout out to my roamer for his first official in Prem. Or should I say my pocket, rather? We switch roles.
Switch roles. All right. Yeah. Definitely always cool. Is that he the only one who has a Prem debut this season for you guys?
I think Flex got his Prem debut as well.
Oh yeah. So new baby Prem talent. Always good to have. I wish you guys all the best of luck in the fights to come. So with that, I think we're just going to call it for tonight. This was ETF2L Season 36, Week 1 matchup, the Gate Jail against Virtus.Bro. Virtus.Bro completing quite the comeback here. And we will be back this Sunday, I believe. I can't remember the matchup, but I'm going to be doing production, so that's why I know there's something going on there. Yeah. Do you have any last shout-outs before we go out, Surney?
Obviously, nothing besides the usual. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've had a fun game. It was certainly fun to watch, at least the first bit of it until, things went a little downhill, unfortunately. And thanks to the players for putting on a good show, all that usual stuff.
Yeah, so shout out Rahmed, first time doing production. Always great to have more producers and people getting involved in competitive tier 2 and doing production and casting and so on. So big up to him, show him some heart, show him some love in chat. And I think the other game on TFT1 is over as well, so I will just wish you guys a good night, a good weekend when we get there, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. Good night.
I'm Pickle Rick!